Konnichiwa, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about understanding the client. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 8th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Tonin de Okane o Mori ni suru no wa yamemashou. And my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive, and even better, thrive in business. I want you to 1, sell more and do it more easily. 2, exceed your targets. In fact, let's blow up your targets. Number 3, make some serious money. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 388. Today we're talking about confirming your understanding of the client needs in Japan. Have you ever had this experience? You cannot get on the same wavelength as a client. I remember an HR director at one of the major fashion brands, and I was always confused during our conversations. I was never sure where she stood on any number of issues about us delivering training for them. Yes, she was very pleasant, but also very obtuse and hard to corral. I would leave the meetings unsure of where we stood with this deal, if in fact there was a deal in there at all. Because no one in Japan wants to give you a straight no. They get tied up in Gordian knots of obfuscation, and you are often left marooned. Sometimes for me it is a language issue. Japanese is so difficult, and my level of understanding can really vary depending on who I'm talking to. I can have one client meeting and I get everything they are saying, and I'm on top of the conversation. A few hours later, I'm sitting in another meeting room across from a potential client, and I'm struggling to get what they are saying. Not every native speaker is a fluent commander of their own language. Not every native speaker is smart, succinct, clear, and logical in their speech. When you are not a native speaker and you are getting this barrage of poor communication skills, it gets bewildering very fast. I've been having a series of back and forth emails with a potential client about arranging some training for them. The language is Japanese. It isn't necessarily a linguistic aspect which is giving me trouble. These days, tools like Google Translate do a phenomenal job if I need help. The issue is the person writing the email is a very poor communicator. Basically, she doesn't have great skills in her own written language. This requires me to keep clarifying what she is trying to say because it is not clear in the least. Expectations can be an issue. We find we are both operating with different expectations. Often we haven't communicated what they are because somehow we imagine the other party understands our position. Japanese people suffer from this amongst themselves. So much is left unsaid in Japan. And the idea is that each party fills in the blanks, and coalesces their understanding of what happens next. It doesn't always work, though, and they find they have completely misunderstood each other. Throw a foreigner into that mix and things get very exciting very quickly. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, and we also have custom in-house programs as well as both in Japanese and English. We do classes in our super safe classroom and we do them live online. The show today is being brought to you by, on the 11th of July, our Dale Carnegie course, 3-day version. On the 24th of August, we'll be doing our Dale Carnegie course, the 12-week version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday Tokyo time. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon, Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni suru wa yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. As a training company, we have to be careful of the message getting confused or mistaken between the salesperson and the trainer who will deliver the class. As a rule, we really want the trainer to meet the person contracting us so they can get a direct download of what is expected. Of course, we can pass on our understanding of what they want, but getting it directly from the horse's mouth is a much better idea. Can you do something similar in your industry with your team who will execute the deal? It is always interesting, too, to find out that what you are hearing in this meeting is different or additional to what you heard in your own meeting with the client. Uh-oh. They may have moved their expectations in this room, or we just got it wrong, or we may have asked a different question this time and uncovered some hidden or previously uncommunicated needs. This happened to me recently. We met the CEO. In their conversation, new requirements emerged which were not revealed or discussed in my first meeting. Either these were not tapped well enough by me in the first instance, or they had subsequently emerged, or the CEO's own thinking had progressed since our original meeting. It's always humbling when this happens. You have to question your own competence with asking clients questions and taking notes in the meeting. It's very important to catch these misunderstandings early so they can be corrected before the deal progresses too far down the track. Getting things in writing is good for clarity. However, in most cases in Japan, the contracts are not prescriptive and do not carry all the very detailed aspects, especially in the service sector. Usually, busy salespeople don't want to summarize their understanding of the meeting and send it to the buyer because they want to move on to the next client and the next deal. Having a clarity meeting is part and parcel of the way things are done here, and that is a good thing. We might want to skip that meeting and just get busy on the delivery, but Japan has found that such additional meetings to make sure we're all aligned work well in a country where communication is vague, parsimonious, and confusing. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned. Go out there and survive. Use it and make some serious money. Bucks, dough, ruler, coin, dosh, lolly, readies, smackers, earners and bread and honey. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.